ask you a question. Do you want to know how to get sponsors like these guys to help pay the way in your sport, your endeavor, your event, whatever it is you're doing? If you want to get sponsors, you're going to have to watch this video. This is a training I did over a year ago, talking about how I made millions of dollars with endorsements, with sponsorships to help me get down the road as a professional athlete. I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming right now, fixing to go compete, but I wanted to give you this little video to help you. I know you're struggling, I know you're trying, and do me a favor, if you like this content, go ahead, like, subscribe, share this video with anybody that can use it. I gotta get out of here, it's time to road. Welcome to this training about how to get sponsors. Part 1. I don't know if there's ever been another training out there quite like this one, and the subject of sponsors is such a big topic. Like, it's just so big I can't cover it all in this one single training, but I wanted to give you some action steps because I know that you're probably out there, you're wanting to chase your dream, you're wanting to go make it happen, you're wanting to be out on the road as a professional rodeo athlete, but maybe funds are a little bit low. Maybe you don't have the right horse to get the job done and you need money to buy a horse. Maybe some of you are like, if I just had some feed, if somebody would just give me some feed or somebody would just give me some products or something, that would really help out because the more products I get, the less I have to spend out of my pocket. So this training is all going to be about how to get sponsors, but really the groundwork that you gotta lay. I know you're thinking, Tyson, how did you get Governor Huckabee and presidential candidate on your shirt? Tyson, how did you get Zoetis? Tyson, how did you get Polaris Ranger? And the truth of the matter is, I want to tell you something, that this stuff actually worked. In my career of professional rodeo, I made over $2 million just on endorsements. That's just an endorsement. I know what you're thinking, you're like, whoa. If we go and we look at Pro Rodeo Sports News, it shows that you've won about $2 million. That's right. I've made probably equal the amount of money within sponsors, endorsements, as I have competing in the arena. Now, it always goes back to basics for the ropers out there. Like, you know, the way to get on track and to get on roll is to go back to basics. And sponsors is nothing else. It's no different whatsoever. So just sit there and think about it. Like, how can I get sponsors? Whether it be a product deal, whether it be cash, whether it be a fuel card, which is awesome, right? Cha-ching, we like those fuel cards. I've had one of those in my career and it's amazing to not have to pay for the fuel that goes in your truck, right? And I know you're sitting there thinking, well, yeah, Tyson, it works for you, but it's probably not gonna work for me. And that can be the furthest thing from the truth. I'm a firm believer that if you have won everything, if you're world champion, you can screw up a sponsor deal, no offense, and you can't get sponsored. And I'm also a firm believer that even if you haven't made the NFR, even if you're young and coming up, you can still get people that believe in you and want to help you. And really, today's lesson is kind of an introductory on how to get that done. Now, as I've said a minute ago, there are two kinds of sponsors. There is product deals and there's cash deals. And a lot of people, if you're starting out, you're probably going to want to start out like on the product side of things. You're not going to want to start out asking for $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. And people get those. Trust me, people get those. But I've really broken it up into a few steps. And I think really going back to basics on getting sponsors and laying that foundation and not listening to the inner voice saying, oh, I never get sponsored. Oh, I could never get a sponsor. Oh, I could just go up. I could just get a sponsor. You can do it. I believe in you. I know that you can because where you are was probably where I was a decade ago, 15 years ago. That's where I was. I had no money. I literally was sleeping in the backseat of my truck. I was maxing out my credit cards. Yes, that actually happened, but don't do that. Don't do what I did. That is not good. And I was at a point where I like, man, I can't make this work. This is so tough. So if you're here, you're hungry, but you got to promise me something. You have to promise me that you will do these steps. If you're serious and you're motivated and you really want to make it happen, you have to do these steps. Don't just kind of do it. Actually do it. Actually dive in there and say, okay, I'm going to listen to Tyson. It worked for Tyson. Maybe, just maybe it could work for me because I'm speaking from experience. I know it can. I know it can help you. So number one, give yourself a pat on the back for being here because not a lot of people are here. You're a special individual, somebody that's willing to take a risk, somebody that's putting yourself out there. And then you have the belief in yourself that says, you know what, maybe I can get some sponsors. Maybe I can go get after it. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into it. Number one is do not be scared of the word no. If you're out there, just raise your hand or feel it in your soul. You maybe approach somebody for a sponsorship and they're like, oh no, we like you, but you know, it's not gonna work. They give you the quiet brush off. Or they are like, no, I just can't do it. And then you think, man, they said no. I probably suck. Nobody likes me. I'm not very good at this. Why would they sponsor me anyway? I'm not a world champion. But the truth is, the no that is here does not represent who you are. It doesn't represent the kind of athlete you are. It doesn't represent your heart, your soul, your integrity, which is a major important thing to sponsors. Your heart, your soul, your integrity, how you carry yourself, how you project yourself on camera, how you project yourself into the world. Don't be scared of the word no when you're approaching sponsors. And I'm gonna get into a little bit more of the numbers later on, but do not be scared of the word no. Here's action step number one. Another no is just one step closer to a yes. In 2013, I came off, at that point, my worst season ever. I missed the NFR barely. It's the only time in my entire career that I had missed the NFR up to that point. It had been several times, and it was really difficult mentally and financially for me because I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't really have any sponsors. I didn't know a lot of companies. I did rope okay, but I didn't have a lot of relationships with high influential people. And after 2012 season, I said, you know what, Tyson? We barely missed the NFR. We traveled all over this country and we lost our tail financially on the road. Wound up the season with zero pretty much, probably some debt on there. And I got to thinking, I was like, man, it'd be good to get some sponsors. And my wife, well, almost wife at the time, my fiance was like, well, let's just go get some sponsors. And that's one thing I love about having a partner that's willing to push you and motivate you. And if that's not your wife, that can be your father, that can be your mom, that could be your sister, your brother, that could be an uncle, that could be somebody. So find somebody that can push you and motivate you to do that. So Shay says, well, we're just gonna get some sponsors. I'm gonna email like 150 companies. We'll just approach as many as we possibly can. And we got rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection. And pretty soon after a little while, it's like, man, that no doesn't even sting anymore because it doesn't bother me. Just because this person doesn't say no, there's probably somebody out there that will say yes.
That is correct.
And so what we learned was a lot of times when we hear no, we take it internally. We take it personally. We take it like, oh no, gosh dang, that hurts my ego. I don't like somebody telling me no. But if you can just flip that in your mind and realize that that's just one step closer to a yes, then you go to a whole nother level. Because guess what? The number of businesses out there that are willing and able to sponsor somebody are in the millions. There are millions of businesses out there that can do that. So if you hear no from 10, go 20. You hear no from 20, go 30. You hear no from 30, go 40. And for me, this was something very important that I had to flip that in my brain and say, hey, just because they said no, it doesn't mean they don't like me. It just means that it doesn't fit them and their budget at this moment and at this time. We're not gonna take it personal. We're not gonna get upset if somebody says no to us. So we've got one down. We know that we're not scared of no's anymore. And we know that no just makes us one step closer to a yes. We're just gonna approach another company. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, let's you and me make a deal. Let's shake hands. Yeah, that good, firm cowboy handshake. If you like this video, do me a favor. Share it with somebody. Subscribe to the channel. And my end of the bargain, I will bring you everything I know about being a high performer, a world champion, and an entrepreneur. If that sounds like a fair deal, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment too, because I'm gonna answer every single comment that comes in on this video. Step 2, where attention goes, products and money flows. Think about where attention goes. Attention goes to people who are not scared to put themselves out there and be vulnerable, to post a little bit more. Some of you out there at this very moment have the ability to get sponsored, but more eyeballs need to be on you. And that's as simple as posting on social media. It's as simple as going live, telling your story about how it went, whether it's good or bad. We want to be that real person on social, not just the person that's, oh, my life's perfect. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm so great. That's not what people like. Okay, that's not what people want to get into, want to believe in and get behind. They want the roller coaster ride. They want to see when you're high in the sky and down low. And where attention goes, products and money flow. Again, you can use social to vent and say, hey, I'm tired of this person. I think they're no good. They're an SOB. Or you could use it to lift people up. You could use it to give people tips on their horsemanship. You could use it to even just do a product shout out. More of that here in a minute though. And the action step for number 2 is be classy. Brands do not want to be associated with a jerk. They want to know that you're a good human being. You're a kind human being. You're a person that cares and has integrity. And the number one place that sponsors go to see who you are as a person is your social media. You know, back when I started, is we get our piece of paper here, right? We get a piece of paper and this is where I've been, this is what I've done, this is where I'm going, this is the demographics, this is all that stuff. Now they want to see what your social media is like because they know where eyeballs go, attention goes, the products and the money flows there. So do your best to develop your social media. What does that mean? For some of you, that could mean just posting regularly every day, just putting yourself out there, not caring if there's criticism, not caring if you're perfect, not caring about having the perfect shot to make you look like something that you aren't. We all want to project the perfect side of us on social, but the truth is people are attracted to individuals who are real. Part of the reason I have so many sponsors is because I have taken that time on social to build a brand that people are attracted to. And I don't care if you have 100 followers. I don't care if you have 1 million followers. We all put our pants on the same way. It doesn't make you any better or any less than anybody else. But I will tell you, when brands go to look at you seriously, they want to know that you're respectable, that you're classy, that you're kind, that you're nice, that you're raw, that you're real. Use social. Use it. It's a tool just like anything else. Social is so powerful. Over the last couple of years, we've seen the big name rodeo guys got sponsored, and it's not that way anymore. I mean, Dale Brisby attracts more attention online than any other Western person out there, period. Done. Zip, zero, zilch. And he's probably doing great brand deals right now. Obviously, his merch is doing well, but brand deals, partnerships, all that stuff, I'm sure he's doing amazing. So you don't have to be a world champion rodeo athlete. You just have to present yourself classy in a way on social that brands will take a look at you. Step 3, play the numbers game. If you're not afraid of no anymore, get an email, put it together, make it very professional, talking about who you are, but be quick, be precise, be to the point. Don't be lengthy. These companies, the people that sponsor people, they don't have a lot of time. So you got to get to the point quickly. You can't say, I'm this amazing person and this is what I did at every single rodeo my whole life. If you're young, tell them a story about who you are. And maybe, just maybe, you'll trigger some emotion in them to say, hey, I want to reach back out to this person. Maybe I can't afford $5,000, but maybe I can afford $200. Maybe I can afford $250. Maybe I can afford to give them some free feed. The action step for number 3 is that I want you to approach 50 companies, and I want you to be strategic with it. I want you to approach 50 companies and see if you can get one yes. You might say, oh man, that sucks. One yes, that's it? Man, that's terrible. Well, let me ask you this. If you went to 10 rodeos and didn't win anything, would you go to 11th? Would you go to a 12th? Would you go to a 13th? The answer is yes. You would, because you know that the next time you're in that arena, you have a chance to win something. You have a chance to go out there and make some money, baby. And that's what it takes to get down the road. We all have to make some kind of money. So play that numbers game. Be strategic. Approach a lot of people. Be relentless at it. In 2013, when I went from 0 to like 100 and maybe 30 or 40 or 50,000, it's been so long, I can't remember. In that year, in 1 year, that's what we did. We played the numbers game. We just hit up every company that we could possibly think of. We weren't sleazy, we weren't cheesy. We were clean cut, nice, prepared, well-spoken. And when we got a meeting with somebody, we would show up, we would be prepared, we would have researched the company, we would know more about them than they probably know about themselves. So play the numbers game. That's phenomenal, but also be strategic and be prepared for it. If you do that, your chances of getting up that ladder are so much higher. When you show up and you meet the company, after you've emailed 50 and you got just one maybe out of 50, which I've done, when you show up, man, you're going to be nervous. Like, oh man, I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to mess this up. But go back to your basics. If you're in my mentorship program, you know that I have a pre-game prep routine for rodeo, getting ready to compete, getting ready to roll. Do the same thing, getting ready for that sponsorship meeting. Know what the company's about, know who the CEO is, know when it was founded, know what products that they might want to push in that moment, and go in there and rock them out of the park. Talk to them, sell yourself, fit yourself, because you deserve it as much as anybody else. I think a lot of people, they get off track because they think they don't deserve sponsorships. Trust me, you deserve it. You deserve sponsorships. And if you're a person who's struggling with getting the momentum and getting the ball rolling, I have something amazing for you. It's called the Cowboy Challenge. Down in the description below, I want you to accept the challenge, the Cowboy Challenge, to give you momentum, to give you resiliency, to give you mental toughness, to go on and chase life. And you can check that out. There's also a ton of free stuff in the description below. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I truly will read every single comment on this video. And guess what? If you want to watch another amazing video, check this one out right here. I know that it will serve your life. Take care. Adios.